Hello and welcome to the first episode of NanoCoaster Nate. On today's episode, I will be discussing the basics of assembling a NanoCoaster. Additionally, together, we will assemble the ParkScape landscape model of Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Okay, so today we're going to be assembling the ParkScape steel landscape model of Cedar Point. And the reason I selected this model is because it's one of the simpler models to put together and will really help give us a good introduction into the world of building NanoCoasters. These items are made from stainless steel and ABS plastic, and they are manufactured by Coaster Dynamics. For many of them, you actually have to purchase them at the park. This one here, you can purchase at Cedar Point or via their website, and it retails for $35, which some of the models are more complicated than this one, involve a lot more pieces. They also go for $35, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, a couple of tips before we begin. The first thing I would like to recommend, if you haven't done this before, is have a nice clean area to work, preferably flat and preferably with a hard surface. This is actually a table that I built at the signage company where I work, and so you might not all have the same luxury, but perhaps a table at home, a wooden table. If you do have a wooden table, I'd recommend putting something on it so you don't damage the surface. As you'll see as we get into this, there's going to be some manipulation required for these stainless steel parts. I'd also recommend a blunt-nosed set of pliers, such as this utility tool here that you can purchase relatively inexpensively. This also has a knife built into it if we need it, and a pair of clippers. I know in the instructions it'll say that you can use nail clippers, but I've not found that they work as well as these clippers that I purchased here from Harbor Freight for $3. So you want to get a set of those. Highly recommended. And then I'm also going to use a carpet steamer. As you'll see, if you have a carpet steamer, that's great, but if not, you might be able to use a hair dryer or a heat gun. Okay, so we're going to get started here. First thing first, obviously we want to remove the pieces from the box. And as you'll see, in this case, they come in a plastic wrapper. This one here is actually already cut out of the stainless steel. And it's already doesn't have any of the paper backing on the acrylic, so we'll have to get into that into the next episode. It also doesn't look like it has any instructions, which is different from the others as well. So we're gonna have to go by what's on the box, and as you can see, the box here. All right, so you can see what we're working with here. This is the base, and the idea is each of these metal pieces has some tabs on it, and basically they'll just go into this acrylic here, and that's pretty much what we're going to do here. So there's a photo of the park, and Cedar Point is I believe the second oldest operating amusement park in the United States, which a lot of people don't realize that because they think of Cedar Point as being very new, probably because they always are getting something new. And I've spent a lot of time there. It's not too far from my house. It's about 3.5 hours away, and they have 17 active roller coasters according to RCDB, and of course some of those are kiddie coasters, but like the coaster enthusiasts, including myself, like to say, credit's credit. So we will we'll take those coaster credits any way we can get them. I'm just laying this out right now, kind of trying to put, I see the gate here, and then, or the main entrance rather, and then there's gatekeeper behind it, and that's attached to the wheel. Then we have Valraven. A Valraven piece here along with Top Thrill Dragster, and lastly, Steel Vengeance and Millennium Force and Magnum XL. So pretty cool. If you've not been to Cedar Point, it's quite a rush when you first get close by. You can see the park in the distance. You have to drive across a causeway in order to get into the parking lot there, and it's really quite a scene. It doesn't look like anything you'll ever see anywhere else in this world. Sort of a roller coaster enthusiast dream come true. So as I mentioned, these pieces go into the slots. This one's actually a fairly simple one. It's not going to require us to use any tools. So we'll have to get into that in the next episode. But basically, as you can see, there's tabs on there, little metal tabs. And sometimes they ask you to bend them down. In this case, they're not. They're just going into the slots in this ABS space. So. Okay, so we're just gonna drop those in there. You don't want to push too hard and bend the stainless. I mean, it's not completely fragile, but it will deform pretty easily. So just want to use some light pressure on it, gingerly assemble it. And that's pretty much it. This was definitely one of the simpler models, and on a scale of 5 being the most difficult, 1 being the easiest, I would rate this as a 1. This is a good beginner model. If you just kind of want to get a taste of what it means to put one of these together, and there you go. So once again, together we assembled ParkScapes Cedar Point, and as you can see, it was a very simple model to put together. I would rate it 1 out of 5 in terms of difficulty. And here's the finished product versus the photo. And very cool, very neat little model you can put together that really captures the impression you get of Cedar Point as you're coming across the causeway, especially if you're seeing it for the first time. It's really something amazing that I would highly recommend. This was NanoCoaster Nate, and we're going to do another one here on another episode. It'll be episode 2, and so make sure you tune into that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.